Guys, open Moodle cheat sheet 1. Question 1, can you please read it? Alright guys, so I hope you guys have opened the sheet. Can somebody, can you see it?
Yes.
Please read it.
Give 10 examples of the friction and identify the discourse phase and the contribution.
Can somebody quickly give few examples? Sir, paint, yeah. Milk, paint, anything else? Shaving cream, what else? Foam, toothpaste, blood. Anything else? Milk हो चुका है वैसे milk of magnesia.
Dietary type of stuff which we drink and acid.
हाँ, antacid.
कौन सी चीज़ है यार ये?
नहीं तो milk of magnesia is an antacid.
Just talking about hardness means that
Share with me. Maybe I'm missing out on some nutrients. Okay guys, so think about it and other than water there is a very good chance almost anything under the sun that you're drinking is a suspension. Alright, or that you are using is a suspension. Almost all your cosmetic products, they are suspensions. Second question.
High dilute suspension are produced. Who will use them?
So, I think this question I should have listed in tube sheet 2. So now the discussion that I've started with the single particle, we'll see that the results are going to be applicable only for dilute suspensions where particle is not interacting with any other particle. And we are doing it only to keep things safe, to keep things easy. I mean, the moment we have particle interacting with other particles, थोड़ा सा complicated हो जाती है problem, and we won't be able to do things analytically. We won't be able to solve these problems using paper and pencil. Okay, so that's the main reason why we are doing it. But then why are we doing it? Why are we wasting time if we are not going to be using dilute suspensions very often? I mean, the main reason is for you to qualitatively, and in the case of dilute suspension, quantitatively show why some of the features that you are going to see for concentrated suspensions, why those features are present to begin with. Why, so for example, why viscosity of a suspension is higher than liquid or the fluid in which we have dispersed these particles, why the viscosity is high. We are going to see quantitatively, we are going to solve using paper and pencil, we are going to show quantitatively why the viscosity of a suspension is high or a dilute suspension is high. This is again going to be reproduction of the work that Einstein did during his PhD back in 1905-1906. Anyway, so this is the reason why we are using, why we'll be focusing on dilute suspension. Are they of any use? At least from rheological, I mean they are present, they are omnipresent. The air, the PM 2.5 that we are talking about. So let's say today PM 2.5 is 200. It's much lower than that. Like in liters, में जैसे PM 2.5 is 200, 250. What's the unit? When I say PM 2.5 is 200, क्या units हैं? Microgram per cubic meter. Gases का हम ppm, ppb की terms में बात करते हैं, लेकिन particles का नहीं. It's in terms of mass per unit volume, and let's say all PM 2.5 by definition is particles less than 2.5 microns. So anything from few nanometers to 2.5 microns, they are part of, when I'm saying PM 2.5 is 200, that means particles with less than 2.5 micron, their mass per unit volume is 200. Their mass is 200 microgram in a meter cube of volume of air. So, and this is a back of the envelope calculation for you guys. Let's say that all my particles are 1 micron. So you know the size of the particles, and let's say their density is 1000 kilogram per cubic meter, close to water. Tell me the volume fraction of these particles in air. Jab highly polluted 200 microgram is a pretty bad situation. So what is the volume fraction of particulate matter in air or in the fluid at those concentrations? And you see that the volume fraction is going to be very, very small. And again, small compared to what? It's going to be somewhere like 0.001 or something of that sort. And dilute suspension, किसे बोलते हैं? What is, we are going to use this term where particles do not interact with other particles in the fluid. Motion of one particle is not interacting with motion of another particle in the fluid. So when this particle is moving here, the particles around it, they won't be affected by the motion of this particle. Can you think of a situation where motion of one particle could be impacted by motion of any other particle? Angie? So this is an interesting example. So you guys following the Olympics? I'm not, but this is probably what is happening on ground. You will see that, so you have, I guess nowadays also first in swimming, right, in swimming, in the beginning they should be having league stages. I mean, in the beginning there might be 50 or 100 swimmers, और वो एक बार में एक swimming pool में typically only 8 can compete, right? So 8 must be competing, and I mean in phases they must be competing, and in the end the best 8 will be competing for gold, silver, and bronze. Okay. In the league stages, whoever comes out to be in the league stages, those who are doing well, they get the best get a chance of asking for. So there are in the final round there are 8 position, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Gold medalist typically कौन से position पे होता है?
1 or 8. So 3, 4 around.
4 5 के around.
3, 4.
बीच में होते हैं वो. क्योंकि league stages में they have done well, so they are given this option of where do you want to stand,
Choose the lane.
and they stand. I mean they choose 4 or 5. They do not choose 1 or 8 में typically नहीं होता है. Of course, it's after the race the winner is decided, and of course if I am given 4 or 5, or this guy who is going to win gold medal, if he's given 1 or 8, they won't mind it. Like otherwise, people who do well in the league stages, they get an option of choosing any of these, and they choose 4 or 5. क्यों?
3, 4, 5.
Streamlined formation.
3, 4, 5. 3, third lane, fourth lane, and fifth.
Sorry?
Third lane, fourth lane, and fifth lane. मतलब जो heat में सबसे first होता है उसको third lane देते हैं, फिर fourth, fifth.
यार उनके हाथ में होता है. अगर वो कहेगा कि यार मेरे को 1 2,
नहीं, I guess ये rule होता है सर. Third, fifth होता है जो बीच में इसी basis में.
हाँ, और part of the reason that they like these middle position is because wall के पास they don't want to swim.
हाँ.
So they also want those positions. I could be wrong, हो सकता है पीछे से कोई force कर रहा हो, लेकिन they are being forced to take the best positions. They typically do not. 1 or 8 is not preferred, partly because of the wall that is there next to them. And you can think of wall as one surface and the swimmer as another surface, and when the swimmer is close to the wall, it's interacting with that surface. And we'll go into detail of this kind of interaction, lekin this interaction doesn't help the swimmer when that swimmer is swimming. Of course, win or loss is not decided by that. मुझसे वो सब जीतेंगे, irrespective of where they are swimming. Okay, but yeah, this is one example of where they could be interacting. Even when they are not touching, they could be interacting with each other. And that interaction is possible because
Mentally. Yeah, mentally they would have in mind that there is a wall.
हाँ, लेकिन in reality also there is a interaction, and we call this interaction hydrodynamic interaction or interaction. Hydrodynamic a lot of time is used for fluid. Although hydro is used only for water, but it's a generic term for any fluid. So this interaction is called hydrodynamic interaction. When I'm standing here and I'm moving, or I mean even when I'm moving like this close to the wall, the only way I could be interacting with the wall is the fluid between us. Like when I'm, although his hair is too stiff. His hairline. So this is hydrodynamic. I hope you can see his hair moving. So this is hydrodynamic interaction. I haven't touched him. There is no charge interaction. The only interaction was my movement or this notebook's movement generated disturbance field. Fluid started moving because of this, around this, and that fluid, when it was moving close to this hair, his hair started moving. If it was a rigid surface, like rest of his face, which is not going to move, it would have resisted this movement. So same way, when the swimmer is swimming close to the wall, and this wall is rigid, in the swimming pool, the wall is rigid. That wall resists the movement of the swimmer. Anyway, coming back to question 2, dilute suspensions, particles are not close enough to each other, and their motion of one particle does not affect the motion of another particle. A motion of one particle is not affected by the motion of or presence of any other particle in this suspension. Question 3. Guys, Moodle पे है ये share. I'm sorry, I couldn't figure out ये कैसे on करना है. Hi.
This is the designated class for NLF, 413.1.
From
11 to 1.
online, it showed empty.
No, I mean
And-
this is a designated class throughout the semester for NLF.
So for today, I was able to book it, and
I don't think you could book it, sir.
the timetable in charge approved it. Excuse me. नहीं यार अगर मतलब I mean this kind of overlapping should not happen. But I got it reserved from our room booking system online. I mean all legal pathway was followed. Anyway, so कहाँ पे थे हम लोग? Question 3. Can somebody read?
Evaluate the vector slash tensor calculus A dot B Ax dot B for x for given A and B.
ठीक है यार, ये A dot B, A cross B, AB.
Del A.
I hope you guys can do it. Please do it. I mean mid semester में questions आएंगे and then you guys, और ये question generate करना बहुत आसान है मेरे लिए. I mean you can imagine. I just need to think of few numbers and I'll ask you to do that calculation. ये repeat भी नहीं होगा. अगर तुम पुरानी question papers देखोगे, so that won't help unless you understand it. And it's really a freebie kind of question. Anyone would like to tell me what's a tensor? Tensor. Tensor means tensor. One direction. Yeah, so let's talk about tensor, a stress tensor. So let's say I'm saying what is I'm checking my home booking. So sigma xy, what does it mean? xy, sigma xy or sigma xx. टेंसर की बात हो रही है ना? हाँ.
Stress in x direction due to force in y.
Stress in x direction due to force in y. My favorite flow, simple shear flow. I'm moving this top plate with the velocity V. Let's say this is y. Let's say height is h. This direction is x, y. Guys, एक बार इधर देख लो यार. So simple shear flow, top plate moving with the velocity, constant velocity, and the bottom plate is stationary. Okay. There's going to be a force acting on this plate. There's of course going to be a force acting on this plate. Or there's going to be a stress acting on this plate, which is moving with the constant velocity. कौन सी सिग्मा कंपोनेंट नॉन जीरो होंगे फॉर दिस सरफेस और फॉर दिस सरफेस?
Sigma yx
सिग्मा yx y
is x directed velocity and momentum in the y direction.
when I'm defining for this surface we are so sigma x y is going to be force acting on this surface in the x direction where the surface has a normal component in the y direction, or stress in the x direction on a surface with normal component in the y direction. मतलब किसी भी surface के लिए अगर कोई direction define करनी है So we typically talk about normal vector. Am I making sense, guys? So stress, the reason we have to talk about tensor in these cases is because it's not just the direction, it's also on the surface that it's acting. Uski kya direction? When we are solving for force acting on this spherical particle, हम लोग सिग्मा डॉट n का इंटीग्रल करते हैं. सिग्मा का अकेले इंटीग्रल नहीं होता, सिग्मा डॉट n का इंटीग्रल over the surface.
Try to give this shear force along the surface.
Okay. So the reason we have to talk about tensor and the reason we have to worry about tensor is this fact that on any stress acting, and I mean the same goes for this fluid also. हम लोग fluid की भी बात करेंगे. We would be interested in finding sigma ij because it's also, you cannot be defining, sigma is not just a vector quantity, it is also dependent on the surface on which it's acting और उस surface की क्या orientation है. Am I making sense, guys? All good? Question क्या था?
Tensor calculus.
Okay, वो बस tensor का. Question 4, anyone?
Solve for a single rigid spherical particle setting in a stagnant fluid at low Reynolds number.
Here I really wanted to go over your notes from fluid mechanics. And if possible, share with me so that I get an idea क्या चीज़ तुमने की है, and then I can share. I can share the exact derivation with you. But will be nice if I can connect it with what you guys have already done. All right. Question 5. What is the difference between Stokes flow and laminar flow? Explain using Navier-Stokes equation. This is something that we have done in the class. Okay, for laminar flow is a finite inverse of the problem where V dot del V term is going to be important. What is Newton's law of viscosity? Will the viscosity increase or decrease when particles, droplets or bubbles are added in the fluid? Compare your results with thermal conductivity for composite media and commit. तो पहले तो थर्मल कंडक्टिविटी की बात करते हैं. In winters, walls. So if I have to improve the efficiency of air conditioning or heating systems running in LHC or let's say just for this room, what do we do? क्या करेंगे हम लोग?
We can improve the insulation of the walls.
We can improve the insulation of the wall. I thought मैं इतना popular हो गया. People not taking the class. Probably first year as students I think. Improving the insulation of the wall, and one way to do that is क्या कर सकते हैं insulation को improve करने के लिए?
Make the wall thicker.
Make the wall thicker. What else?
Make the wall with better insulation.
Yeah, have the wall with the material जिसकी conductivity कम हो. Okay, and how can we do that? Any material with low conductivity that you can think of? Wood. Wood is low conductivity. What else?
Wool.
Wool. What else?
Cardboard.
Cardboard. Or low.
Plastic.
Plastic. Marble. I don't know in सबका order क्या है, but in सबसे low होगी guess. And I mean people do it, and it's also cheap. It's easily available and almost free of cost. So you essentially mix things. The lower the conductivity that is there of the material, utni low ho jayegi conductivity of the final material. The composite material term that I'm using is essentially a mixture of things. Okay, so lowering or improving the conductivity, improve कैसे कर सकते हैं, increase कैसे कर सकते हैं हम लोग conductivity को? By the way, anyone not comfortable with Hindi? Sorry, every now and then I switch to Hindi. Let me know if Alright, how can we increase the conductivity?
Okay.
No, of a material, let's say again wall. I know in the next room there is really good AC running and we don't have air conditioning here, so I would like better conductivity.
Remove wall.
We can add some other material that higher conductivity than the original material.
Although they are also it's not conductivity that is getting improved. It's air. I mean, if I remove the wall, it's air. That's convection which is going to take place in. Sorry.
We can add another material having.
So things like metal you can add that should increase the conductivity. Analogous problem for fluids. Now if I'm adding particles in the morning, we discussed that is going to increase the viscosity of your suspension. If let's say I add bubbles, bubbles are made of air, I mean, the material inside a bubble is air. Will my viscosity increase or decrease?
Do bubbles have no slip-on?
Here, inside bubble there is fluid, so Navier-Stokes equation और वो सारी चीजें valid. I mean, when I'm using the term fluid, when I'm using the word fluid, I'm not distinguishing between liquid, gas, or. Are you in the right class? Okay, perfect. So how inside the bubble, and Navier-Stokes equation will be valid for the fluid inside the bubble, and of course Navier-Stokes equation is valid for the liquid inside the bubble.
Lesser viscosity.
So bubbles inside a fluid will have lesser viscosity. None? Anyone else? And why? Why do you think so?
Because we are adding the particles that are more easy to deform than the fluid.
Okay. First year. Yeah, you guys don't recognize people from your class. I mean, you can't tell me यार my class नहीं है.
So they were here for NLN.
You guys are here for CLL life. Okay. तो बता देते यार कि नहीं है. I mean, the way you gave your seat or I mean gave space for that person to sit, I thought कि हाँ अच्छी जान पहचान.
So we thought it was seniors only they are repeating this course.
So, yeah, what do you think? If I have bubbles inside a fluid, now how would the viscosity change? is the viscosity of this suspension containing bubbles going to be lower than the viscosity of the fluid? Fluid particles, rigid, let's say rigid particles, fluid with, let's say, bubbles. mu1, mu2, mu3. So we are saying that mu1 is going to be lower than mu2, rigid particles, right? And the third case, viscosity is mu3 when we have bubbles. We are saying that this suspension with bubbles will have less than mu1. And the reason for that is?
I can think of an extreme case. Let's increase the bubble size, increase it more. There will be a time when
The entire fluid is bubble.
yes, viscosity will be decreased.
No, the moment I'm defining a suspension, I have something dispersed in a liquid. And the moment I'm talking about viscosity, I'm talking about a controlled volume which is representative of the entire suspension. So this controlled volume, I cannot be talking about viscosity of this region or viscosity of this bubble. I'm again talking about a controlled volume representative of the suspension. Here that control volume could be small. वहाँ पे वो थोड़ा बड़ा होगा because all bubbles. This control volume should be representing my fluid or my suspension. यहाँ पे this control volume size has to be just much larger than single molecule size or much larger than mean free path. Continuum assumption होगी. यहाँ पे जब मैं viscosity define कर रहा हूँ, the control volume size has to be much larger than the single bubble size, or much larger than whatever the distance between the bubbles is. Am I making sense? Now the question is, would the viscosity of this suspension containing bubbles going to be lower than the viscosity of the fluid, pure fluid? The answer to that is no. Even the viscosity of this fluid, this suspension containing bubbles, where bubbles contain air and the viscosity of air is much lower than, let's say, there's water outside it. Still, the viscosity of this suspension is going to be larger than this. You keep quiet. He has an example where some of the things I'm going to talk about won't be applicable, but that's for a different reason. Remind me your name. Aditya. Okay, so why is that so? Why is the viscosity of this suspension containing bubbles is going to be higher than the viscosity of pure fluid?
Is it because of pressure inside the bubble?
Or simple terms में बात करते हैं. Yeah, pressure inside the bubble is just to balance the pressure outside the bubble plus जो भी surface tension है. तो वो balance हर point पे हो रहा होगा. So why are particles increasing the viscosity of my suspension? Particles क्यों increase कर रहे हैं viscosity? Particles do not like deforming. Why?
So, as you already mentioned, surface tension. It wants to minimize surface area. Now, if you deform it, it is not guaranteed to happen.
Bubbles also don't like deforming.
That is why. So, again, no slip.
Well, no slip लग रही है मतलब लेकिन it's resistance towards deformation that is leading to increase in viscosity. Fluid also resists deformation, or we are paying the penalty in terms of viscosity mu. Bubbles also resist that deformation. And here that resistance is coming from surface tension. And we are going to talk about, in our down the line 15-16 lecture, we are going to talk about, in that lecture, about bubbles or droplets, where we will introduce another non-dimensional number based on viscous forces and surface forces. And when your surface forces are high, your bubbles are always and always going to stay spherical. Although the fluid inside the bubble is deforming. Fluid को कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, मतलब again pay the penalty of this lower viscosity. The fluid inside the bubble is going to deform, but the bubble is not going to deform. The bubble would like to maintain its spherical shape. और मतलब bubble अगर थोड़ा deform भी हुआ तो sphere से थोड़ा ऐसे हो जाएगा, थोड़ा stretch हो सकता है, depending on if the viscous forces are really high. लेकिन unlike the case of a fluid, if let's say I'm applying simple shear flow fluid के ऊपर, again top पे एक plate है जो move कर रही है और bottom पे एक plate है जो दूसरी direction में move कर रही है. After some time, the distance between any 2 points, I mean, I'm stretching. If there was a bubble here, it's not going to get stretched like this. I mean, थोड़ा बहुत हो सकता है, लेकिन after some time, it's not going to be like this. It's not going to continue to get stretched and stretched. And if surface forces are high, it will always and always maintain its spherical shape. So 2 packets of fluids which were here earlier, after some time they'll be here. But a bubble, since your bubble, it is not soluble, or the fluid inside the bubble is not soluble in the liquid, you cannot be stretching it infinitely. And in the condition when surface tension is high, surface forces are strong, your bubble will always remain a bubble, or your bubble will always remain spherical solid.
So what if instead of air inside a bubble, we fill the fluid with whose viscosity is higher than the viscosity of the fluid in the standard flow?
Is it soluble or not? Then that bubble will now, I'll just use the word droplet. Viscosity will still increase. So no, unlike, I mean, earlier we discussed the concept of conductivity and how I can be adding higher conductive material to increase the conductivity of this composite material, how I can be adding lower conductivity material and thus decreasing the conductivity. Here, adding anything which is not soluble in the fluids is always and always going to increase the viscosity. That's why the case that you were talking about, that is very special. Are we on the same page? Now, do we? Is it clear why adding a fluid of lower viscosity also is only and only increasing the viscosity of your final suspension?
So that part, if it is miscible, then
If it's miscible, तो मतलब जो भी उन solution का final viscosity होगी वो होगा. इथेनॉल को water में डाल रहा हूँ. It's not. I'm not claiming कि viscosity अब high होगी या low होगी.
but oil we are sure, अगर oil डालेंगे तो बढ़ेगी.
Oil डालूंगा और disperse कर दिया, बढ़ेगी. चाहे oil की viscosity कम है पानी से या ज़्यादा है. To the extent वो बढ़ेगी वो matter करता है, लेकिन it's always and always going to increase. When I'm adding air air bubbles where let's say viscosity of air is negligible compared to the liquid, I am claiming E1 there the viscosity is going to increase. And in the class we are going to look at how that we are going to solve it using paper pencil, how much that increase in viscosity is going to be, which Einstein will reduce back. All right. So next question. I mean, ये थोड़ा conceptual question है, and it's going to help you to understand it now for next few classes. Question 6 now. 7. Yes, 7, 8 कर लेना तुम घर पे. I mean, essentially using drag force acting on the particle, load and also number problem है, drag force को equate करना with gravity और m and the root it is. Question 9 पे आते हैं. 7, 8 कर लोगे. 9 पे आते हैं. Use Monte Carlo simulations to find out the area of a circle of diameter a when area of square is known as a function of its side. And this is like a couple of 1,000 years back. We knew area of a square, a square. Circle इतना trivial नहीं है. Or knowing the value of pi is not trivial. मतलब कहाँ से आ रही है pi की value? You don't know. So the question is, let's say I know the surface area of a square. How can I estimate surface area of circle just knowing this? सिर्फ सरफेस एरिया ऑफ स्क्वायर क्या पता होने से मैं सरफेस एरिया ऑफ सर्कल कैसे निकाल सकता हूँ वहाँ से?
Fill the circle with smaller and smaller squares and
Agree. Or here I want you guys to use Monte Carlo simulations. And stories say कि Greeks did it. So let's say I have a square. I know इसका size a है, 2a है. So 4a square is the area. I have a circle inside this square with diameter 2a or radius a. Okay. Now, all I would like you guys to do is generate random points. And let's say two random points generate random points between 0 to 2a. Let's say a1 है. Generate random points from 0 to 2. Okay. पहला और दूसरा जो भी जनरेट हुआ xy बोलो में and place them here. Okay. You have generated total, let's say, capital N number of points, and out of that, small n number of points have landed here. Small n by capital N क्या होगा?
ratio of area of square. Circle to square.
Circle to square, and when you know square का क्या area है, so n by n, small n by capital N times a square. 2a square is the area of your circle. And you can refine it by just throwing more points. 100 points करके देखो, 1000 करके देखो, 10,000, 100,000, million, billion, trillion. All you need to do is generate points. And you will see कि result तुम्हारा pi r square के पास पहुँच जाएगा. As you are going to just increase the number of points. कम पॉइंट्स में स्टैटिस्टिकल एरर ज़्यादा है, जितने ज़्यादा पॉइंट जनरेट करोगे वो एरर कम होगा. And I want you guys to use similar method to calculate mean square displacement of this particle moving on number line. At t equal to 0, the particle is stationed at x equal to 0. Then you generate a random number 0 to 1. Let's say if the value is less than 0.5, and the particle moves in +1 direction. If the value is between 0.5 to 1, particle moves in -1 direction. Do this exercise, let's say in the beginning for 100 time steps for a single particle, and then repeat it for, let's say, 1,000 or 10,000 particles. After 100 time steps, let's say the particle is at +12, another particle is at let's say -10. So my displacement is 12 and the other particle's displacement is also 10. -10 is also a displacement of 10. So 12 squared plus 10 squared plus all the other particles wherever they have landed divided by n will give me mean square displacement after 100 time steps. Okay, so mean square displacement after 100 time steps. Let's say 100, 1,000, 10,000, million. And I want you guys to plot मेरी mean square displacement कैसे change होगा.
So mean square displacement is displacement square and then
Summit divided by total number of particles.
So we are supposed to iterate the number of particles and the number of steps.
Let's say number of particles को same रखते हैं. 10⁴. In theory, you can iterate for a single particle number of times. लेकिन पार्टिकल को कांस्टेंट रखते हैं, let's say 10⁴. 10⁴ पार्टिकल्स के लिए 100 टाइम स्टेप्स, 1000 टाइम स्टेप्स. इनफैक्ट 10⁴ पार्टिकल्स के लिए बिलियन टाइम स्टेप्स कर लो और बाकी सारे टाइम स्टेप्स का उससे पहले ही मिल जाएगा. It's the same iteration. And I want you guys to plot this. Larger time scales के लिए you'll see that this is going to be a straight line. Lower के लिए straight line. Last question, guys. Draw the streamlines for the rotational flow and the extensional flow component of simple shear flow dx gamma dot y dy equal to 0. Simple shear flow को डाला है मैंने. And I want you guys to plot del V plus del transpose and del V minus del V transpose. उसके बाद हाथ से प्लॉट करना, टेक ए ग्राफ पेपर और एक्सेल पे and show me how the streamlines are going to be. You understand the question? जैसे मैं यूनिफॉर्म फ्लो बोल रहा हूँ कि let's say my velocity is equal to u. जब कोई पोजीशन x y का क्वेश्चन है तो each and every point in the space has a velocity. यहाँ पे you will see some dependence with x and y, and then based on the x and y you can tell किसी भी point पे क्या velocity है. Alright. Thank you guys. So next Friday, I would like you guys to submit it online and I would like to basically the following. But submission deadline will be grade school. I mean, the speed at which currently also we are slightly behind the tutorial. Behind what we तब तक 9 लेक्चर हो जाएंगे.
So,